That movie sucked.
I kind of liked it.
Movie Night Crew Network.
When Dobby had worked for the Malfoys, he had always worn the same filthy old pillowcase. Now, however, he was wearing the strangest assortment of garments Harry had ever seen. He had done an even worse job of dressing himself than the wizards at the World Cup. He was wearing a tea cozy for a hat, on which he had pinned a number of bright badges, a tie patterned with horseshoes over a bare chest, a pair of what looked like children's soccer shorts, and odd socks. One of these Harry saw was the black one Harry had removed from his own foot and tricked Mr. Malfoy into giving Dobby, thereby setting Dobby free. The other was covered in pink and orange stripes. What's up, potheads? Welcome to the Restricted section. It's a show in which a bunch of nerds with potty mouths reread the Harry Potter series for the umpteenth time and discuss the ways that the story and its themes have stayed with the generation into adulthood. Thank you so much for being here. If you haven't done the reading, don't worry, we did it for you. Here's what we're talking about this week. Chapter 21, The House Elf Liberation Front. Oh, well, December was cold and the fireplaces were full of fire and the halls were drafty and it was very cold and Scottish at Hogwarts. Hermione finally finds the entrance to the school kitchens and she takes Ron and Harry down to visit with Dobby and Winky, who have both recently been employed by Hogwarts. Well, Dobby has, okay, because it would seem that Dumbledore has permitted Winky to be a consensually unpaid laborer, okay? And Dobby is absolutely thriving, but Winky is, she's not okay. She's just not okay. Welcome to the Restricted section. Oh, fuck, I didn't write a joke. No!
Oh, damn it.
No!
Foiled again.
Honestly, nope, this is just my intro now.
This is it.
This is art, baby.
Honestly, the best one yet, I would say.
10 out of 10.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I did take one improv class one time.
It shows.
The first thing they teach you is that whenever you're confused, come to a hard stop and scream, no! Whew. Well, I am flying high today because I am joined by my conciliatory friend, Grace. Say hello to the listeners, Grace.
Hello.
I would also like to welcome back our returning guest, friend of the pod, and dare I say, at times, twin of the pod. Perhaps William Ball.
Sometimes.
Say hello to the listeners, Will.
Hello. Hi, listeners. Long time no talk to.
Yeah, you might remember Will from our Prisoner of Azkaban Chapter 1 owl post. Is that all? That's all you've been here for?
That's all I've been invited for, so yes.
Oh my god, that's so boring. I'm so sorry.
It's not like this chapter's any better, okay?
You know what? You're right.
Somebody gets drunk. Oh no, that doesn't even happen in this chapter. She gets drunk later in the
Brag.
book. Well. Well,
maybe next time.
This one is definitely more interesting than Prisoner of Azkaban Chapter 1.
That
There's
is
no
very
denying
true.
that.
That is true.
I'm moving my way up in the world. I appreciate it.
Yeah, maybe we'll bring you back for a climax chapter of whatever the fuck the next book is. Order of the Phoenix. The book I don't want to read publicly for a year. No.
That's fair. I think it'll take about a year.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They take it's like the school year. If I start September 1st, they're usually done around like May, June.
True.
Will, how have you been since the last time we talked? I think it's been like a year or more.
It's been like a year or so. Yeah, I think so. Things have been good. Just working all the time, exhausted all the time. But that's such is life. I moved to Columbus, Ohio. So if you have any listeners from Columbus, Ohio, hello, fellow Ohioans.
Are they called Ohioans?
Yes, they are.
Is that what you are now?
No.
I am technically an Ohioan now.
That's not good.
Those vowels.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It's so good.
Ooh, well, cool. I have never been to Columbus, Ohio, but my mother has, and she loves it.
Well, good. Yeah, so far it's a lot of fun. There's a lot to do. Granted, I work all the time, so it's not like I get to do any of the fun stuff. But
Don't forget from time to time to take a break.
Yeah, from saving all those lives that you
yeah,
saved.
they don't need to be saved. It's okay. I'll take a
Wow,
break.
okay, now I'm the
I'll take a
asshole.
break.
Okay, that's my suggestion now.
no.
Negligence, gross negligence.
That was really good advice, though, actually. Because are you okay? Are you good? I haven't talked to you in a while, I feel like.
I was gonna say, I don't think anyone has died this week. Only
Jesus.
a couple last week, so I'm doing great. It's a
Feeling
better week.
Good.
Oh, heavy already. We haven't even started the chapter yet.
I'm just, but I am just thinking about all of the stuff that you've done in the past year. You got married. You are officially a doctor. You moved to Ohio. You bought your first house. Like,
Holy shit, you're a man now.
Yeah, I know.
You're finally grown.
I've grown up. It's
We
so
watched
good.
you grow right before our eyes.
Yeah, surprise.
Incredible. Well, I am very proud of you. That's a lot.
Thank you. It's very traumatizing in all ways.
That's okay. That's okay. You're doing great, and we're very proud of you.
Thank you.
And you are taking a break right now by sitting down with some pals to discuss Harry Potter.
Exactly.
And, really fun, lighthearted topics like, what if slaves loved being slaves?
I mean, good question. What do
Wow.
you do?
What do you do? Wow. Okay, well, we'll get there. Okay,
Yeah.
Today we're talking about Chapter 21 of Goblet of Fire, the House Elf Liberation Front. So it starts with Harry, Ron, and Hermione go up to send Sirius Black a letter to tell him that Harry literally survived the first task, which was not a given. You do have to let him know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he needs to know.
And Harry gave him a play-by-play. He did not hold back.
Classic Harry, though. Like, I mean, come on. He's just like, play by play, gonna toot my own horn over here and be impressive for my godfather that I love so much.
Yeah.
He's like, the Daily Prophet should publish this instead of Rita Skeeter's bullshit.
He's like, here's my op-ed.
Yeah, Pigwidgeon can hardly fly because the letter's so thick. Absolutely ridiculous. Ridiculous creature, ridiculous letter.
Yeah, Harry was just so legit in his fighting the Hungarian Horntail that the letter was just super thick.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
to be fair, if Harry's going to brag about something, like, this is worth bragging about.
It's true. He did survive a
You're
dragon.
right. I do like to shit on Harry at every opportunity.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, okay, if you want to brag in one letter, I'll allow it.
I do in this section relate heavily to Ron because in like their time, in Harry, Ron, Hermione time, they made up like an hour ago or maybe like less from their like 3-month-long fight.
Yeah.
So Ron is like overcompensating. He's like talking a lot very quickly and saying a lot of really nice things. And I relate to that because when I too have been really grumpy for no reason and I decide it's time to not do that anymore, I too become like really overly cheerful and a little extra talkative.
Just like overcompensating for all of the
don't be
silent
mad at
treatment.
me. Yeah, I'm delightful.
Obviously.
Yeah, no, I feel that too. I just, the whole thing was so silly. I'm just so glad they're talking again. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, a huge relief.
Oh,
it's been
seriously.
like a month and a half.
That's a long time. Because they're like best
They're like
buds,
best
dude.
bros.
Okay, just to be clear, it's been like a month and a half restricted section time. It's been like 3 months Harry, Ron, Hermione.
Oh.
It's been a long time. Actually, it's been probably 2 months, I think. Wow.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's too
Yeah,
long.
because-
Especially because you share a room with this person.
Yeah, that's super
Because
awkward.
the Goblet of Fire situation happened on Halloween, and now it's
Yes.
like, what,
the
December?
end of October.
And now it's what, December?
Oh, I meant
It's
the
like
end of November, I think.
Yeah, almost
Yeah, yeah,
December.
Yeah, so a long time, either way.
Yeah, because this is the chapter where it's like November turned briskly into whatever comes. I almost said September. I'm an idiot, dude. The next one, December.
Yes.
December.
Yep.
So Ron's like, we gotta go up to your surprise party.
Oh my God.
Surprise!
I had to read that like twice. I was like, did he say we have to go to your surprise party? Okay, Ron.
But Harry doesn't seem to mind having it spoiled for him. Maybe
No.
he's just not a surprise party kind of guy, because remember the last surprise party after they pulled his name out of the fire? He didn't like that one.
True,
No.
that was a bad one.
Yeah, he did not have fun.
That's nightmare fuel.
Yeah.
Just like a party you don't want to be at that you can't escape, and it's about you.
Yeah, it's terrible. That's my nightmare.
I mean, it's like every one of our birthday parties, Grace.
Is it?
I'm pretty sure.
I feel like you had terrible birthdays. My birthdays were great.
They're the same birthday.
Say, considering every year on our birthday, my wife always writes down Grace's birthday on the calendar. So
I respect the hell out of that. I love that too. It's good stuff.
Oh, perfect.
She has her priorities straight. Okay.
Yeah, truly. Okay, so they go to the surprise party in the common room, and it's lit, yo. There's like actual fireworks happening.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah, and food from the kitchens.
Yeah.
A proper party.
And Dean Thomas has obviously been to the arts and crafts room because
Right.
finger painting.
Yeah, he's been drawing and like making some banners and stuff. It's pretty cool.
That's my favorite. I love that once every book, I scheduled this to go out on our Twitter, this quote, because once every book, the narrative is like, Dean, who is really good at drawing, drew something for Harry for Quidditch or something. And I love it. It's such a good detail about him.
Yeah.
He's good at drawing.
We get so little details about him.
I also appreciate the fact that there's a little bit of foreshadowing in the fact that Cedric's head's on fire and he does eventually die.
Oh my god.
So
Whoa.
Why you gotta say that?
I'm just
You
saying.
can't just say that.
Oh, death by head on fire.
That's terrible.
It's no good.
Anyway.
It's like this, as fucked up as the rest of this book is, that's the scene where it like levels up. That's the moment when Cedric dies, when you're like, oh, this is extremely fucked up.
Yeah.
And
this is for adults now. Okay.
Yes. And like the knowledge that that's coming just like looms over the whole rest of this book.
Yep.
Anyway, we're at a party. Everyone is like really pushing Harry to open the egg that he got from the dragon because it's supposed to contain the clue to the second task. Hermione's like, oh my god, don't cheat. And Harry's like, literally, you helped me cheat hard.
We just cheated.
We just cheated 1 minute
What
ago.
the fuck? Is it just like a reflex that Hermione
think
feels
it
like
is.
she has
It's like
to say
knee-jerk
that?
reaction for sure.
Yeah.
She's like giving him his one moment of like handicap for this. She's like, you didn't know this was coming. You didn't put your name in. I'll help you with the one. And now you have to do it on your own.
But the one was fighting a dragon.
Right. Yeah. So perhaps he needs help.
And as Hermione said just like 2 seconds ago, man, if that was the first task, like I can't imagine what the second task is going to be or whatever. Or
And
maybe
meanwhile-
Ron was like,
no, Ron ends up saying, well, nothing's going to be worse than that, which is like the worst thing to say.
right, don't say that.
For sure. It's just like when Charlie was like, I don't envy whoever gets this Hungarian horntail. That's the worst. I wonder if our protagonist is going to get that one. Because it sucks.
Yep.
So when Harry opens the egg, it is empty and it screams at him.
Yeah.
The book says it screeches, but in the film of the play Puffs, it does just scream.
I love that. That's all I think about now. I don't even think about
Exactly. It's not like a cute. It's like ah!
I picture the screaming goats scream that goes on.
Oh
I
yeah,
feel like that would be a good
real
one.
screechy.
Well, have you seen Puffs yet?
I have not, unfortunately.
Ooh,
I
you
need
It's
to.
great.
Okay. Well,
It's like $3 or $4 on I think Amazon.
it's a great
Nice.
time.
Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Just like what were the Hufflepuffs doing this whole time?
Man, and I do feel like this chapter, because I align myself with Hufflepuffs now. Whereas,
Despite the Gryffindor shirt.
yeah, apparently my family still thinks I'm a Gryffindor, even though I've blatantly made it aware
You
that
get to
I'm
pick.
a Hufflepuff.
Yeah.
But I really love food, And I feel an
Same.
appreciation of this chapter at least a little bit because we get kind of a glimpse of close to the Hufflepuff common room. So
Yeah.
It's the closest we're ever going to get.
It's like Harry, they went down a door that Harry had only ever seen Cedric walk into and never ever thought about it again for one fucking second.
Yep. The end.
The end. That is literally how Harry approaches the world. Just an absolute dodo. So everyone has a lot of terrible theories about like what the screaming is. My favorite is, I don't remember which twin it is. It's like, oh, this sounds like Percy singing. Maybe you have to attack him while he's in the shower.
No, but that's like close because it's singing and water.
And water,
That is pretty close. Take
So,
it back
like,
with it.
Percy is a mermaid,
Holy shit.
basically.
This whole time.
Yeah. I
The
think
most
that's pretty
uptight
good.
mermaid I've ever met in my life.
Ugh, yeah, for sure.
Hermione asks Fred, like, how did you get this food from the kitchens? Like, how do you get into the kitchens?
Very inconspicuously, I might add.
Yeah, like, no stress, like, no
like-
reason. I'm just curious about Hogwarts history. And he, like, starts to answer, but then he thinks better of it and starts grilling her about her spew. I'm like, her program, her initiative. If your girl has dreams, squash them. That's what spew has taught me.
Pretty much.
Okay, this is my favorite line in the entire book series. They're like arguing, and I'm not joking. Favorite line in the entire book series. Just then, Neville caused a slight diversion by turning into a large canary.
That's good.
I love it. It's so British. It's like, oh, heavens. Oh, I'm so sorry. I seem to have turned into a canary.
Oh, goodness me, I'm molting.
I feel like that's an aspect that I wish would have still been in the movie or in the
God,
film.
that would have been so good. I think instead of this scene, they do that stupid scene where all the boys in the Gryffindor Tower are eating the candies and making animal sounds.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They like don't have time for the whole Weasley's wizarding Wheezes like
Bit.
subplot, but they're like,
Yeah.
let's get the aura of it in there with some nonsense candy.
Okay. True.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, so the Weasleys are like, come and get them, canary creams. Neville like turns cheerfully back into Neville, and they're like, come on down, get your canary creams, become a canary, just for 1 second.
I feel like that's pretty cool. I'd like to be a canary for 1 second.
For just 1 second. What if
Yeah.
it's hell? What if you're just like, oh, God!
Then it's over and you're fine.
And
you're
then
like,
you're back to normal.
and you're
Then
like,
you molt and it's good.
stay away from the custard creams or whatever they're called. I don't know.
It's worth noting that the twins were dosing their friends
yeah, no.
non-consensually.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure it's like microdosing, so it's in BD.
That is still actually non-consensual, even if it's microdosing. Watch 9 Perfect Strangers on Hulu.
You know, consent is really not valued at all here. So, generally.
Whew, boy howdy, are you right about that? That's the whole plot of this book is like,
Yes.
well, fucking say it, you're doing this.
Seriously.
Yeah. Next we get our fall to winter montage.
I love this.
And the rains of November turned into the snows of December, and Hedwig could be found catching, whatever, I don't know, what do owls eat?
Mice?
She's white like snow. We go to a Care of Magical Creatures class, okay? Okay, they don't know if the Scroots, the blast-ended Scroots, hibernate. So they're like, let's try.
Which I feel like is classic Hagrid, because he's like, I got these things. I really don't know what they do, so I'm gonna just try this stuff, see if it works.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not good. They're like 6 feet long now.
Yeah, they're and they keep eating each other.
They're
so
huge.
They're
Yes,
killing
only-
each other.
Only 10 are left. So the class nails them inside pillow-lined boxes, but they don't want that.
I feel like the first thing I think of when I see a blast-ended Scroot is they would love a pillow-lined box.
Like a coffin, basically.
is.
And it's like, go to sleep.
Especially if they're 6 feet long. Like, you can put a whole human in there for sure. Like, that's...
Yeah,
no,
and put them
no.
6 feet under. Yep.
I don't like it.
So the Scroots get mad and they go on a rampage. I just love this. These shenanigans are everything that makes up Harry Potter to me, are like these ridiculous shenanigans.
Yeah, like lassoing Blastin' and Scrooge.
The whole class hides in the teacher's house.
Oh my god.
From fear, while Harry, Ron, and Hermione help Hagrid collect the Scroots.
And the ones who don't just are being maimed actively, and like, like what is happening? This is ridiculous.
Here's the direct quote, which I also scheduled on our Twitter. Here's all these spoilers for our social media this week, but they're just the best. They're just the best quotes in this one. Dean, who had a nasty cut across one cheek. Lavender, whose robes were badly singed. Seamus, who was nursing several burnt fingers. That's a lot of injuries for one class.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like we've moved up in the world from Buckbeak scratching Malfoy's arm to
real danger.
multiple students getting injured.
Every
in one
class.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Okay. So there's only like one blast-ended Scroot left, and they're having like a showdown with it when Rita fucking Skeeter shows up. I mean, I hate that she's here, but it's very funny.
It is funny, but also like, what is she doing here? Why is she here?
Being a bitch.
She is the worst. I think she literally was like, she's not allowed in the castle. She's not allowed on the grounds, I think.
Okay, remind me when that happened. Did that actively happen?
I think that happened after the weighing of the wands, because she was there like with Dumbledore's knowledge then, but then after that people talk about how she's banned. Yeah,
because Hagrid says here, he's like, didn't Dumbledore ban you? And I was like, oh, I don't remember.
I think that this is us learning about that, because she like slandered a student and didn't even mention the whatever. Her article sucked.
Yeah, I figured it was probably a result of the article that came out, but
so she got banned from Hogwarts, but she's like chilling on the grounds, probably still trying to find her fucking scoop.
Yeah, man.
And she does.
Scoop. Yeah, she did.
She fucking finds it, man. Well, so Harry's first instinct is like, wow, literally, where did Hagrid get these creatures? Because my guess is not from the magical creature store. Yeah, probably illegal.
Yeah.
I don't remember if this speculation is in the book or if we've only done it on the podcast, but like perhaps he even bred them himself, like illegally, because they seem to be like the kind of creature only a Hagrid could love, you know?
Yeah, I thought that they were Hagrid's invention, but maybe I'm the person that said that originally, and that's why you think that. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember. If anyone Motts, our podcast historian, tell us.
Motts, please help us.
Pretty please. Help us. Your only hope. So Rita Skeeter asks Hagrid for an interview. Here's the thing. I keep having more of these moments in this book where I'm like, Harry, you could just make this situation a lot better by fucking doing anything.
Yeah.
Like doing literally even one thing. And this is one of those where he's like, well, I don't want Hagrid to talk to Rita Skeeter, but I'm not going to say that in front of her
right now. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, she's a cunt, dude. She wrote terrible things about you. So like, maybe just say it out loud.
Yeah.
It's not
maybe
a secret.
Just call her out for her shit.
Yeah. Be like, Hagrid, don't do this because I interviewed with her and she wrote really rude things about me that I didn't say.
Yeah. It seems like just on that, based on that alone, Harry should feel more than comfortable just saying like, you know, the last article that came out didn't really reflect the things that I said to your face. So like,
that's the difference between a Christina email and a Grace email. This bitch didn't even... or even just like say it to him later.
Yeah,
like
just
do anything.
Don't let him go do the interview, maybe.
Yeah, like Hagrid, you're gonna be sick on that day at that time. You cannot go. Yeah,
and just like I don't know, man. I feel like Harry has no idea how bad it could get. And like this article that she ends up writing about Hagrid is like life ruining. Yeah. Like it fucks his shit up for a hot minute.
Yeah, it's really bad.
All because Harry didn't do something.
He just stood there being like, wish I could do something. It's like it's actually reminds me of when Harry's like, it's so sad that the Weasleys are so poor, but they'd never take my money if I offered it. And it's like, do you know? Did you try?
Did you even consider it?
They'd never do it, so I'm just not even gonna try. And it's like, bro, I think that's something you should give a stab.
I'm gonna let my best friend suffer with a broken wand all year.
Yes, and then those dress robes.
Yeah, it's not good.
It's not good. Next, they go to divination, which apparently is funny again now that Ron is back in action. Okay, so imagine this. Imagine you're in a class that is fucking hilarious to you, that you're constantly laughing through. It's like a joke class. But then you're fighting with your best friend. So you're both like sitting through this class and like the things are happening that you would normally laugh at together, but you're both so stubborn that you're just like grumping through the whole thing for months. I can't imagine the willpower it took for them to sustain this fight.
I know. It truly, because it first of all, is so unnecessary. And second of all, I just also can't imagine the number of just like meaningful looks across the classroom. Like so dramatic.
Speaking of dramatic, Trelawney is, well, guess what? She's predicting death.
Harry's probably gonna die. Again.
And the fact that, like, Lavender and Parvati, like, I love them. They're so hilarious. Because they're just shocked. Like, they cover their mouth with their
They're
hand.
like, what scandal?
And it's like, dude, literally, she says this every single day. How are you going to be shocked?
Pretty much
right
every
now?
class, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't get it.
I mean, they're like fangirls.
They are. But if you hear the same thing every day, it's just, like, the amount of acting that went into that, I just... Good for them. Good for them, I guess. I don't know.
Good for them.
They probably took an improv class.
Ooh, and learned something. So after divination, Hermione is missing from dinner. And she also isn't at the library after dinner. Weird. It's only Victor Crumb just chilling.
Those are the only places Hermione might be.
Truly.
Well, that's true, though. It is.
Well, they're going to the only other place she might be, which is the common room. But then Hermione meets them at the portrait lady and says, come with me. She's like very excited about something to do with Harry in particular. She's like, Harry, I have to show you.
This is my toxic trait, though. Although maybe not so much anymore, but definitely when I was 14. Like, if someone came up to me and I was with someone else, and like a third person came up to me, and they were like telling this other person that they had to go with them, and I was just sitting there, I'd be like, fuck you guys, bye. Like, I would never just, like, run after them. I'd be like, this obviously has nothing to do with me. You do not want me with you. You did not address me directly as you did the other person. So
pretty sure I was the exact opposite, where I would be like, no, guys, me too. Where are you going?
I'm
thinking about my two best friends, Emily and Anna. And if I was standing talking to Emily and Anna came running up and was like, Emily, I have to show you this. Oh my God, you have to come with me. There's nothing that could prevent me from going with them. But it would have to be like my best friend.
Yeah, I don't know. I would just be like, I think I would just immediately feel left out and sad. And then I would be like, well, fine, I'm not going. And I don't need you.
Hermione didn't glare at Ron and say, this has nothing to do with
But she's
you.
like pulling Harry, and it's like, Harry, I have to show you something. Whatever. I told you that was my 14-year-old toxic trait, and I'm better now, okay?
That's why you should tell your friends you're invited instead of come if you want to.
Exactly. It's all about how you word things.
Mm-hmm. You are so freaking invited. They do run off and they leave the portrait hole open.
Just wide open. Like,
Thoughts, feelings?
So can she not close? She can swing forward, but she can't, like, close?
I guess.
Herself?
I guess.
How does that work?
She seemed pretty pissed about it.
She did, but
She
why,
was
though?
like, I'll just hang here.
She's
But
like,
I don't
leave
know
me
why,
here.
Grace, that doesn't make any fucking sense.
Because it does say, that's, like, the verbiage, right? That, like, she swings
sucks.
forward.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have no fucking idea.
Like, I feel like, especially after last year when, Sirius broke into the Gryffindor common room and like trashed the place. Like,
Yeah.
just gonna leave it wide open for whoever wants to come in now. That's
Well,
fine.
no one's trying to kill Harry now. It's totally different from last year.
Yeah.
Of course. He only had his death just predicted by by Trelawney. So
By Dr. Trelawney.
she probably has a PhD in
Not
divination.
everyone's a
let's be
doctor,
honest.
Will.
Sorry, I just assume.
Dr. Professor
Just assume it of
Trelawney to you.
Yeah, I don't know what happens with that. I don't understand the mechanics of the portraits on like a lot of
Hard
levels, so
No. Well, let's go visit another portrait. Hermione leads them down to the kitchens where there is, they don't know where they are. They're at the kitchens.
We know where they are.
We know where they are. There's a portrait of a fruit bowl on the wall. Mm-hmm. And per Fred's instructions,
Just gotta tickle the pear.
Just gotta tickle the pear. That's the stoner's thing of my life.
Just tickle it.
Just tickle the pear. It sounds like someone trying to make grabbing a curvy girl's butt sound like romantic.
Yeah.
You know, just gotta tickle
I
the pear a little bit.
just tickled that pear. It's okay.
there's actually like so much tickling in this book series. I'm just now realizing. Like, why though?
Wait, can you give me more? Where else is there tickling?
Wasn't Wait, isn't the Hogwarts like motto something to do with tickling? No. About like a sleeping dragon or something?
I think it is. I think it is. Don't
tickle a sleeping dragon. Okay, there's one. Another one. just like the tickling spell, there is one. You tickle people.
Yeah, you're right. It's Draco Dormiens Nunquam Titilandus.
No.
I'm so sorry. Titilantus.
Okay.
That means tickle.
Grace, it's Latin. We took Latin. Come on.
Yeah, that is for sure. That's Latin if I ever seen it. Titilandus.
Titilandus. Okay. Yeah. So there you go. Lots of tickling.
You're right. That's 3 instances of tickling, which is frankly too many.
I mean, I disagree. I don't think it's enough tickling.
Yep.
So the pear, upon being tickled, turns into a door handle. Okay. I love it. Mm-hmm. I want to know if it's like a proper door handle or like a kind of handle that looks like a pear.
Or is it still shaped like a pear? That's
a pear handle. That's why I call my love handles. They're my pear handles.
Your pear handles.
Oh.
So Hermione kind of like shoves Harry into the kitchens and he gets like immediately hug attacked. And I just remembered that in high school, I think we called this glomping.
Glomping?
Was that a my school thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't do that.
Now I'm like, did I invent that?
It's like we did turtling, but we didn't do glomping.
The fuck is turtling?
I feel like I zoned out for a second and now I have no idea what we're talking about.
Will was just about to explain what the fuck turtling is.
Grace, do you remember when we would turtle you all the time?
What the fuck does that mean?
Wait,
oh my god, wait, is it a backpack thing?
It is a backpack.
Yeah.
You have told this story.
So it's when you take someone's backpack when they're not there, and you take all the shit out of it, and you flip it inside out, shove all the shit back into it, and then zip it up.
Wait, how did I completely block that out? I forgot that you guys did that.
We used to do that to you all the
That's
time.
some shenanigans right there.
I said that Grace has told this story before, but she hasn't. She's actually told me a different traumatizing backpack story.
Christina, you're thinking of the one when I fell out of the car with my backpack.
She did. Yes. She fell straight back because her backpack was too big.
It was too heavy.
Grace, I envision you as a very tiny child.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, she was.
That's right. But what William is talking about is how, I'll explain it again because I just remembering all of it again.
You can take ownership of it now.
It's so good. Yeah. You just take all of the items out of...
Particularly when the person is in the bathroom or something.
Yeah.
It's like...
you have to be quick about it. How fast did you do that?
Yeah, there was a speed element for sure. So you just had to take everything out really fast and then turn the whole backpack inside out. Shove all of the shit back in. Zip it up. Act like nothing ever happened.
Then the person comes back and they're like, what the shit is this?
That's the funniest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
It was terrible. I hated it.
So I just want to know, how did you come up with the term glomping?
I don't remember at all. Maybe that I just was so lame. God, that prank, the turtling prank, reminds me of when we were in college. My friends and I used to, when someone was in the shower or something, particularly our friend Rob, because he took really long showers.
Rob.
we would take everything out of his bedroom and like everything and put it. It was like a college bedroom. It wasn't hard, and we would put it in like somebody else's bedroom and shut the door. And then they'd come out of the shower and be like, "Oh shit!"
Freaking again.
Wait,
I love a
awesome.
good like speed prank.
Yeah.
Race against the clock.
You had to have like a couple people involved in that though, right? Like,
yeah, we lived way too many people in a house. It was always dudes. Until I was 24, I thought it was impossible to be friends with women.
No.
Still
it's
is.
Fine.
Sorry,
I've
Grace.
recovered. No, it's just actually quite the opposite now. No offense, Will.
I'm the better twin, though.
I do love men, don't get me wrong, but you know, I've seen the light. But anyway, the fun thing about having a bunch of stupid ass dude friends is that they do things like quickly take all their friends' furniture.
Yeah, that's a good one. I have to keep that in my back pocket for my next prank.
Now I'm Googling glomping.
Just Urban Dictionary it. What does it say?
First of all, it's on dictionary.com.
Okay.
So
a lunging, enthusiastic, over-the-top, and potentially dangerous hug that often begins with a running start like a tackle.
So it's 100% a real thing.
According to dictionary.com, I don't necessarily see like a Merriam-Webster's definition like I like to see about these kinds of words.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it does exist outside of Urban Dictionary and my own head, surprisingly.
Yeah, that counts.
So Dobby glomps Harry really hard, potentially dangerous. Why do you guys like Dobby?
I mean, I do. I know that you aren't as big of a fan, though.
I just like to talk about it. I want people to tell me why they love him. Like, point out, tell me, let me count the ways.
I feel like my like for Dobby comes and goes. So like there are times where I'm like, okay, you're okay. You mean well, like you're trying to do the right thing here and all that. And then there are other times where I'm like, oh, you're the worst.
I know. I feel that way too, but also I just feel like I can't forget like the tragic ending that he had, which makes me feel like I can't feel negatively towards him just because, you know.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know.
Yeah, I guess I more like hate what the narrative does to him more than like actually hating him. I mean, it turns him into a character that I don't enjoy spending time with. It's like very weird for me. I mean, he definitely dies a good death, you know? Like, it's very narratively like poignant and impactful. I just watched that very recently.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did because I was on maybe like a year or two ago. I think it was a year ago. I guested on TV Trivia Pod about Rick and Morty. I did like trivia about Rick and Morty, and the host invited me back on to talk about Deathly Hallows Part 2. And I was like,
wow.
Okay.
You couldn't have given me a more fun movie. Okay. You know what this means, right? This means I have to also watch Part 1.
Yeah, that's tough.
But I watched it with Andrew, and we watched Part 1 starting with the Malfoy Manor part, you know, and like when they get snatched in the woods, but it like creates like the narrative arc you need for the beginning of Deathly Hallows to be impactful.
Yeah, for sure. Wow.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Dobby's glomping right now. He's fine.
Yeah.
He's wearing a tea cozy hat, a tie, children's soccer shorts, and mismatched socks. One of which is the sock that set him free originally.
Aw, sentimental.
Yeah, I'm glad he's washed it. they
True.
make that very clear.
Yeah.
Because when Harry is like in the narrative in Chamber of Secrets, it's like Harry took off his slimy, disgusting, filthy sock that used to belong to Uncle fucking Vernon and has been through hell and back. And he put a book inside of it. I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh, I always forget that the book goes inside of the sock.
Inside the sock.
Just so weird.
Very weird choice. So Dobby works here now.
Yeah.
And he's moving up.
He's moving on up in the world. He gets paid. Not that much, but he does get paid.
Yeah. This whole section's kind of hard for me to like say I don't know. it's just also messed up. Like, Dobby mentions that he just kind of roamed around for 2 years.
2 years?
Yeah, that's a long time to roam around.
What were you eating?
Exactly. How did you live?
It's working that corner, you know.
Oh, Dobby, no.
Yeah. Gotta do what you gotta do. House elves gotta work.
Smash cut to Dobby on the corner being like, "Sirs, I'll sweep your hearth for the low, low price of 1 galleon."
Yeah.
Okay, so guess who else is there?
Winky.
It's Winky. She's not okay.
She fallen apart.
Someone teach this woman self-care immediately.
I know. Just, like, love yourself, Winky.
Yeah.
She does not.
She does
it's
not.
Bad.
It is really bad.
She's, like, sobbing. She's, like, literally still in shock. First of all, she's in an adorable tiny little elf outfit.
Yeah.
It's like it sounds like a Victorian's lady outfit with like a little bonnet with little holes for her ears.
Yeah.
And like an apron.
So remind me, how long has she been free again?
The World Cup was at the end of August. So
okay.
it's
been a couple
September,
months.
October, November. It's been 3 or 4 months, yeah.
So also, how did Dobby hear that Winky was fired?
Literally, the book says, like, Dobby went to go visit Winky. Like they're
just
best
randomly?
friends. Conveniently, they're just best friends.
Well, I mean, yeah.
There's a chance that they know each other, and Dobby was like, okay, Barty Crouch is, like, a good government official. Like, maybe he'll be able to afford a second.
Oh, okay.
Like, maybe he'll be able to afford to pay me. I don't know.
Like, perhaps going there for work or something.
But why on earth would Winky and Dobby know each other?
Yeah, why would they know each other? And also, like, how do house elves communicate? I don't know. I just have questions about it.
It kind of reminds me of, like, the the older stereotype that, like, members of, like, the same minority group, like, just know each other.
Yeah, there's a lot of bad stereotypes happening.
Like, oh my god, you're gay? Do you know the gay that lives in my grandmother's neighborhood?
Unfortunately, yes, but...
Unrelated. Yeah.
I thought of my grandma because my grandma loves the gays on her street. She's like, those gays are so surprisingly fun and nice and quiet and respectful.
Surprisingly.
I'm like, bitch, you live in Rehoboth Beach. You're the one who moved here. Okay, there's certainly just gay people here. Dobby asks if Harry wants tea, and when Harry says yes, no less than 6 house elves get on it.
That's what I call service. Like, come on.
That's exactly what Ron says, right?
Yeah.
I think he says,
He's like,
now
this
that's
is
service.
Great service. No.
Ron doesn't care at all about the plight of the house elves.
Yeah.
Which is kind of interesting to me just because his family has grown up so poor. I feel like, I don't know, because like house elves are obviously poorer than the Weasleys because they're slaves. But I feel like he, of all people, would at least have some sort of compassion for it.
I think it's just like a very old held belief. Like I really don't want to get into this too much because this podcast is certainly not like the place, but like the parallels to like, American slavery is like are very clear. And I'm thinking about like the white people who couldn't afford to earn slaves certainly still thought themselves better than those people, like above the enslaved people.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's just a lot of like the quote unquote happy slave mentality here that it's just so uncomfortable, and like
it's extremely uncomfortable.
Reading it now, it's just like pretty painful to like read, and I'm like,
when I was reading this, I was actually thinking about this is so stupid, but I was thinking about the Be Our Guest song from Beauty and the Beast. Mm-hmm. Because it's similar, it's like, let us take care of you, but like Be Our Guest is such like a celebration.
Yeah.
But this is like really sad and uncomfortable, and the dynamic's really weird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, it's very awkward. And like this whole scene is like Winky is sobbing hysterically. Hermione is trying to comfort her. No one wants that to be happening, but Hermione's doing it to probably to soothe some of her own guilt about the situation primarily. And then Dobby is like whispering conspiratorially with Harry. And then Ron is ostensibly just like half listening and eating.
He's mostly there for the food.
Mostly there for the food. So Dobby shares that he came to Hogwarts because it's the only place that would pay him. Mm-hmm. And all of the other elves act like Dobby has said something very rude.
Yeah.
They're like, bitch.
They just like immediately disengage and they're like, we can't even like hear, like shun. They're shunning him.
Yeah, it like reminds me of my behavior when like one of my friends gets too drunk and starts like reciting poetry and it's like, oh, it's not the vibe, you know, and you're just like, eesh.
Yeesh.
Or like when your uncle at Thanksgiving starts like doing his like rant thing and you're just like, oh God.
Yeah.
Now we all have to endure this together.
Yeah, it's just so problematic because like, you know, Dobby's like, yeah, and I get this much. I can't remember how much. But then he's like, but Dumbledore was going to get
1 galleon per week with 1 day off per month.
Okay. But then Dumbledore was, you know, whatever, going to give him more money and more days off. And Dobby's like, but no. Not me.
He still has that mentality, I think.
It's like, yeah, the conditioning and yeah, it's just not good.
Yeah, I think that Dobby would have been like a less creepy character with his like, don't pay me too much and like all this shit if like the whole backdrop of like every other elf being mortified at the notion of being paid. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like the fact that like Dobby is like the outlier and he gets paid just like almost nothing. Like if there was like this really thriving society of free elves and Dobby acted this way, it would be different.
Yeah.
But this book is just like talking about a lot of problems and like offering no solutions. It's like, what if there were slaves?
Yeah, it's just
it's like what if people were literally enslaved? So
and like why
that would
though?
suck.
Yeah,
why? It offers nothing.
And like this whole subplot, like what does it even really do ultimately? Nothing.
Like I think that's part of the reason why it was cut out of the movie was.
Well, yeah.
They could never.
But at the same time, it does nothing for the story.
You really just need Dobby, and like the films portray Dobby the way that Hagrid, or I think it's Hagrid, describes him as like you get weirdos in every breed. So the movie is like, you don't get to meet any other house elves. Here's this one, and he's obviously nuts.
Yeah.
And we're not going to touch any of the rest of this, which, good move. You couldn't have done it. It would have been terrible.
I don't know. You meet Creature and stuff like that, but...
Yeah, you're right, but he's also just, like, very strange.
He's also nuts.
Yeah, he's a recluse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dobby mentions that Winky has been freed, and she throws herself onto the floor sobbing.
Classic Winky.
That's
she
the
sure
dynamic.
Does. She sure does.
The Winky thing is so bad.
Yeah, it's really bad.
I mean, I like that at the end you find out that, like, she had really genuine worries and was, like, really genuinely involved in this, like, much larger plot. So she has a lot weighing on her here that is, like, not just, like, I got fired.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
She's, like, genuinely worried about her boss. But, I mean, the fact that he fired her is bullshit, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Like she's
but
blaming...
also the fact that he enslaved her was bullshit.
Yeah, it's all
also
bullshit.
Yeah.
But she's
it's
just
all
like
bullshit.
She's just blaming herself for everything, and it's just the whole mentality is so fucked up, and it's hard because I'm like mad at everyone. Like
yeah.
Like no one is good in this situation, and it's so unnecessary.
Yeah, and I think it really just comes back to the author's not good. And she took on a problem that she wasn't equipped to handle, and she put these characters in a problem to which there's no solution.
Yeah.
Because like I've thought before that like if I were Dumbledore and I'm like supposedly a good dude, right? Mm-hmm. He's in these kinds of ways, he's like a good dude. There's like a better word, but like. If they say they don't want to get paid, start a savings account for them and be like, okay, I'm just going to put money in this account for you. And like, if you ever want it, if your kids want it, like it's just there for you.
Yeah.
But like that wouldn't work. Like these house elves that she's written would leave that situation.
Yeah.
Right.
And so just fuck it. Fuck this whole, this whole subplot.
Yeah. We
just
hate
fuck it.
It's terrible.
Just give us like one fun elf who's not enslaved. Just let Dobby be a weird, fun forest elf. I don't know. Like, why does it have to be this way?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hermione asks Winky, like, she's like, oh, sweetie, how much are you getting paid?
Yeah, good job, Hermione.
Just like fucking idiot. She needs supervision.
She's so misguided.
Read the room, Hermione. Come on.
I know.
But that really, like, Hermione in this scene in particular, like, it just shows how much she's not trying to look at this at all from anyone else's perspective but her own.
Right. It's about, like, her own guilt.
Yeah, and it's like, that's her problem.
And, like, it's okay if your involvement in, like, resolving an issue starts with you personally feeling guilty about it. But, like, you can't just, like, go from there. But, like, you have to do more developing.
Do anything to learn about, you know, the people that you're trying to help.
Right.
Like, take any steps.
Right.
And, like, because it's not even like she goes down there to, like, have a conversation. Like, she's just like, this is what I want to do. And, like, you should also want to do this. And, like...
She's not at all meeting them where they are. And, like, granted, that's... all of what we're saying is a lot to ask of a 14-year-old.
You're right.
But... Again, the shitty person here is the author for putting Hermione narratively in this position and having every other character in this book talk to her like she's insane for giving a shit about this.
Yeah. I feel like it's kind of one of those situations where it's when someone tries to do like the right thing or something good, not because it's the right thing or something good to do, but because it'll make them feel good to do it and make like kind of one of that situation.
Yeah. Like assuage their own guilt.
Mm-hmm,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Well. We got into all the rants so far today.
I know, yeah.
So next Harry's like, so Dobby, so I guess you can't like talk shit about your masters. Can you maybe like talk shit about your old masters?
Like what?
Yeah, Harry's just fishing over here. He's like, so like say bad stuff about the Malfoys.
Yeah, Dobby explains that you're not supposed to speak ill of your masters, but Dumbledore as an employer, not a master, I guess, has given Dobby explicit permission to talk shit.
Yeah. I just think Harry wants some, like, Malfoy secrets.
Pretty much.
He's like, Dobby, spill the tea.
But here's the thing. I think you're completely right, but, like, he barely tries.
Yeah, I know.
Try harder to get those secrets. Ask more specifically. Yeah. Dobby's not going back there.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, so Dobby, like, blurts out that the Malfoys were bad dark wizards, which...
Oh, shit. This is brand new information.
Well, it's an important moment for Dobby that he's, like, saying it out loud.
Yeah.
And it would have been, like, really cool, I think, if he didn't start immediately beating himself up.
Beating the shit out of himself.
Like, what if Dobby was like, yeah, the Malfoys were bad dark wizards. Like, hey, if I start... to move to punish myself, could you please like
stop
restrain me?
Yeah,
or,
like Dobby could be like, sometimes this happens.
Yeah, or he could be like 2 years ago, like I would have really been feeling bad about saying that, but now I'm gonna do some meditating breaths and I'm just gonna let it out.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Winky at some point mentions that Ludo Bagman is bad. And Mr. Crouch doesn't like him. She implies that there are perhaps some secrets there.
Intrigue.
Yeah, so then it's time to go. As the trio's leaving the kitchens, the elves give them a bunch of snacks to take with them. Okay. Would you put an eclair in your pocket? Will, would you?
Without a doubt, yes.
An eclair?
Yes.
What about several eclairs?
How many pockets do I have and how deep are they?
Wouldn't you be concerned about getting chocolate frosting inside your pocket?
Not necessarily. Depending upon the eclair, if it's properly made, the chocolate should not be melty at room temperature. So, answer is no. I assume the house elves do a very good job at making eclairs.
The issue is that the house elves are going to do the laundry anyway. God damn it.
The cycle of abuse never ends. Well, they also put pies in their pockets, which I get that. That's like a little, I think, fully enclosed pie situation.
Like a hand pie.
Then, yeah, a hand pie. But then they also put, I think, like cream pies.
Yeah,
or something like that.
It says cream cakes.
Cream cakes.
Cream cakes.
That to me sounds like a non-pocket
probably where
situation.
I draw the line on cream cakes.
Grace, you're our resident chef. A baker is obviously what you are. Would you put a cream cake in your pocket?
I would put it directly in my mouth.
See, that's the answer here. That's the answer.
How many cream cakes, Grace?
We'll see. I don't know. Don't limit
Only
me.
time will tell. Yeah, Harry and Ron put a lot of goodies in their pocket, and then they're just eating them as they walk away. I don't know.
They don't deserve those snacks. Nobody deserves those snacks.
Those snacks were a bribe to fuck off.
Yeah, they're like, please leave.
Please just get out of here.
For the love of God. You came for food, that's what we'll give you.
Yeah.
That's honestly how Fred and George get the food every time. They just go pester the house elves and they're like, please fucking leave. Take all the food.
Yeah, I know. Ron mentions, he's like, I thought it was like hard for Fred and George to get this food, but it's pretty easy.
A lady never shares her secrets. Well, that's the end of the chapter. Is there anything we missed that you want to circle back to? Or any like themes you want to drive home, or any final thoughts, Will?
Let's see. It is nice to know that Dumbledore is a barmy old codger, like we always suspected.
Whatever the fuck that means.
Yeah, I knew it. I've said it before. No, I've never said that.
I will say it again.
I always say.
I would like to mention that I appreciate the Harry Potter video games a bit more because they actually do include blast-ended scroots in them that you have to fight and things like that. Whereas the films didn't even address them as a real thing. So
too expensive.
Yeah, it's too hard. Nobody even really knows what they look like, so.
I know. I have an illustration of them, and I still don't know what they look like.
Still not sure.
Exactly. That's how you know.
As yet unclear.
Yeah.
Grace, what about you? Any final thoughts or etc.?
No. I think we about covered everything and maybe even more.
Indeed. Will, what was your favorite moment in this chapter?
My favorite moment? It's a good question. Circle back to me.
Okay, Grace.
Oh, God. Okay. Yeah. My favorite moment... Wow, okay, I skipped toward the end. That's not where my favorite moment's going to be, so I'm going to move right on back up.
I can go first.
Oh, yeah, you go.
My favorite moment is when Neville turns into a large canary.
Oh, yeah, okay.
That sounds about right.
That's a good one. I would never want to take that one from you.
Probably my favorite moment was when the chapter was over.
Oh.
Wow.
Just kidding, guys.
Oh, sure.
It hurts. I don't know. I just like maybe the party scene. It just felt, it was like, like fun and people are happy and together again. And
yeah, the energy is good.
The energy was nice.
Ron and Harry are reunited.
Yeah. I think that's probably my favorite moment in the chapter.
That's a good
Okay, Will. Oh, wait, you already went, didn't you, Will?
It's technically, I did say that just the end of the chapter.
I know,
that's
rude.
That's
I don't
rude.
know. I also just do really enjoy tickling the pear. So
Oh, yes,
fair.
yes.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Fair enough. That reminds me. Oh my God, I should have done this at the beginning of the episode. I need to do a brief shout out. This is a shout out to Kat Svans on Instagram, who pointed out that last episode we called Harry Potter a Gary Sue, and we failed to call him a Harry Sue.
Oh no!
Wow, missed opportunity. Guys.
Truly.
They said you guys called Harry Gary Sue in this when Harry Sue is right there.
It's right there.
So shout out to Kat Svans on Instagram because, I mean, we're fucking dumb. That's a great joke.
Yeah, we're going to have to remember that for next time Harry's being a Harry Sue.
For real.
Because I'm sure it will happen again.
What? No way.
Well, are y'all ready to move on to plugs?
Sure.
Sure.
I would love to start by plugging our Patreon account. For as little as $1 a month, you can support us on Patreon and become part of our online community, which is a very fun place to hang out. For the $5 a month tier, you can get our monthly bonus episodes, which are super fun. Our January bonus episode covered the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them movie. And that was a lot of fun. So it's a very fun movie if you haven't seen it yet. Just to like look at. If you value plot too much, maybe just don't look too hard, but it's definitely fun to watch.
That being said, I feel like I did definitely appreciate the Crimes of Grindelwald a lot more after watching it sequentially after Fantastic Beasts. Just because the plot made a bit more sense to me. I followed it a lot better. So I had a bit more of an appreciation for it. And so I'm looking forward to the Secrets of Dumbledore.
Nice. If the secret isn't I'm gay and I'm in love with my best friend, I don't want to hear it.
They did kind of hint at that with the whole blood pact and things like that.
Blood pact!
We'll see.
Always with the blood pact.
Dude, I love that like super metal kind of magic. Yeah, like make a blood pact with me, bro. This ain't no tickling charm.
Yeah.
Will, do you want people to find you on the internet or would you rather remain mysterious?
Probably remain mysterious. I don't have much internet presence as it is, just because
that's your prerogative.
Runs in the fam.
With my job, I can't because everything I do.
If you need to get in touch with him, send an owl.
Yeah.
Send an owl.
Owl mail only.
I'm very receptive. I've got my own L right up here.
Oh yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Top. Hedwig is still chilling up there.
That's like a very high up ledge in your room.
We just put Hedwig up there. We don't have anything else to go up
perch.
You should put some plants up there. Or
I was just going to say, do you get good light in that room?
We do not get good lighting at all.
Yeah, it is like the far side of the room.
Yeah,
Rip.
So that's the problem.
Well, books maybe. Mm-hmm. That's my recommendation.
Yep.
What have you been reading, watching, playing, listening to lately that you think that our listeners might enjoy?
Let's see. Rachel and I have been watching. So we watched all of the Marvel movies, like from start to finish, and
nice.
then we did just go see the new Spider-Man movie, which was great. Lots of fun. But in addition to that, we've actually been watching all of the Marvel Netflix shows in the correct order that they are supposed to be watched in.
Cool.
Which I'd watched bits and pieces of like Daredevil and Jessica Jones and things like that, but actually watching them all like in the order that you're supposed to watch them online, because it's like the first season of one and then the first season of another and the first season of another, and then they all come together. And it's been really good so far. We've thoroughly enjoyed it. Plus, we love David Tennant, so
yeah,
him and Jessica Jones is great. So
awesome.
And of course, in Goblet of Fire, he's also great. So
yeah, he's also my favorite Doctor.
Of course, I don't know. I love David Tennant. I've got a special place in my heart for Matt Smith. I'm sorry.
He's so cute, but David Tennant is more my kind of guy.
That's fair.
Just
That's
fair.
Fair.
Smile at me and say yes.
Yeah.
Grace, do you want to take this opportunity to plug our business, perhaps, since you aren't online?
Please plug our business.
Yes, I would love to do that. Wildling Press, everyone. We've been up and running for a couple months now?
2 months tomorrow.
Almost, yeah, 2 months tomorrow.
Happy 2-month birthday.
How many books have you published?
None. It takes longer than that.
Hey, yeah. Psh.
Let's take a picture of ourselves. We're meeting tomorrow. Let's take a picture of ourselves with one of those cute 2-month infant banner setups.
Yeah.
I saw online where someone was using slices of pizza.
Cool.
Nice. 1 month.
That's more our vibe, probably.
Yeah,
so
that's more
definitely
our vibe.
do that instead.
But you can follow us on all the social medias, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at Wildling Press. We have a beautiful, wonderful, amazing, your title is not publicist. What is your title, Christina?
I'm the communications director.
Communications director.
Guys, titles are made up. That's why we can't remember
That's why
them.
I can't remember. It's too
All
hard.
titles are made up. That's not
what,
an us
what do
thing.
what do I want to be called today? I don't.
Literally, we had a meeting where we were like, "What am I?
What am I? What do I do here?" But Christina has been posting some really awesome social media content. So if you're not already following us, you should also check out our website, wildlinkpress.com.
Yeah, we're hosting a contest where you can send us your first page of your manuscript, and we'll take a look at it within a week. We're doing like an expedited review window, and if we like it, we'll ask to see your complete manuscript and consider it for a traditional publishing contract. And if it doesn't vibe with us, we'll tell you why.
Yeah, and the deadline for that is January 31st. So
thank you.
Just
that is super important.
Yeah, just a couple weeks away. So get those first pages in, and we'll let you know what's up.
Yeah.
Should I write my own manuscript about house elf slavery? And
Oh my god, please stop. No.
Woo, another book about slavery by a white guy. You're not the first.
Certainly not.
So Grace, what have you been watching, reading, lately that you think people might like?
Well, I feel like I'm kind of late to this. I'm usually late to stuff. But I did watch Cruella over the weekend. It was
good.
Yeah, and I was like pleasantly surprised. It has two of my favorite Emmas in it, so I don't know why I was.
Yeah,
that's true.
Dude, I've never seen Emma Thompson like do something like that.
I know.
Yeah,
I loved her.
A good
in it.
role for her.
Yeah,
yeah. So I had a great time. So if you like me were late or / haven't seen it yet, check it out because I did have some reservations. I think I saw the trailer and I was like, that looks kind of dumb. And so when I sort of wrote it off, but then Will, you told me that you really enjoyed it, and so I was like, okay, we'll check it out. And so yeah, we did it.
And then 1 year later, you finally
yeah,
checked
exactly.
it out.
I did not immediately check it out, but
did Grace say, "Okay, well, it's going on the list," but there's no list. It was a lie.
There's no actual list, and then she just randomly decided to watch it over the weekend. And then...
Hell yeah!
So it was fun, and I enjoyed it.
Dope. I've been your host, Christina. You know where to find me, and I've been reading a lot lately, so I'm just gonna do a quick little roundup. I listened last week to Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen on audiobook. It's one of my favorite books of all time. Every time I reread it, it's just like a fucking delight, so I think it's fucking hilarious. Having it read to me by a posh British woman was a whole new experience, so I really enjoyed that. I also read Sea of Rust by C. Robert Cargill. It's a post-apocalyptic science fiction where the main character is a robot. So it's a very unique kind of book. Cool. And that was gifted to me for our I almost said Halloween, our holiday book exchange by our friend Sarah. So thanks again to Sarah for showing me that book because it was awesome. I also am listening to The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo.
I've heard that's good.
The other 7...
Hold on. Please let me say the author's name. I'm always like so bad. By Taylor Jenkins Reid. Now lay it on me, Grace.
I heard that was really good.
Yeah. No, you're finally reading the other 7.5 whatevers of this person.
Our friend Adele was like, I'm reading this book called The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. And I literally was like, I'm reading the exact same book, The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. You know, that book. And we were both like, yeah, the same book.
Yeah. And I was in the background like, yeah, you guys are both right.
And then in the end, we were like, I don't feel like you're reading the same book as me. And it's because we weren't. So we made a pact that in 2022 we're gonna read each other's books. Because I fucking loved The 7.5 Husbands of Evelyn
Nope.
7.5. That's the problem I keep having is I keep saying The 7.5 Husbands, and I'm like, who was the half husband? Who was the half husband? So
cool.
I'm enjoying that a lot. I'm about halfway through.
That's awesome.
It has like 3 different narrators, so it's very dynamic and excellent to listen to.
Oh yeah, okay. You said you're listening to it. Okay, awesome.
Yeah, it's about it's about like the lifetime of just like a career Hollywood starlet. You know, it's kind of reminding me of Betty White a little bit since she recently just passed away. I keep thinking about her.
Yeah,
with 7.5 husbands. It's great.
Yeah, all her many husbands. Although the main character in this in The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo is Latina, so that's a cool.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, so I do recommend this. I'm enjoying it a lot. Very surprising. And the last book that I have been reading is Akata Witch by Nnedi Okorafor. It is set in Nigeria, and it's like a YA fantasy, so I'm enjoying that a lot because it's just like a totally different kind of fantasy vibe from the fantasy books I usually read. It's like very, very interesting and vivid, and it's just like a bunch of fuckboy magic kids walking around doing magic shit. So I kind of like that too.
That sounds fun.
Nice.
Yeah, it's very fun. I'm really enjoying it. I'll update once I finish it, but sorry for plugging for books. Books are just so good.
Never be sorry.
Definitely not.
Yeah, I've had the absolute privilege of reading so many excellent books over the past like year or so. Recently, a lot of them are turning out to be surprise gay. Like, I don't really know, and then I'm reading them, and I'm like, whoa, gay stuff.
That's
oh my
awesome.
God. Yeah, congrats to me. Like, that's so fun.
Yeah.
I'm just rambling at this point because I fucking love books. And if you need a book recommendation, come to me because I will give you one.
Yeah.
Damn it. Will, thank you so much for joining us this week.
Of course, thank you for having me.
Was this one a little bit more exciting than Owl Post?
Definitely a little bit more, for sure.
It's like if the name of a chapter were like the U.S. Postal Service. Like, it's just not exciting.
On the plus side, at least some students got injured in this chapter, so...
Right, exactly. And we did get just like some level of mystery and intrigue.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Just the smallest amount. We'll have you back on for a much more exciting chapter of Order of the Phoenix. You're getting a promotion. You get to go to much more exciting.
I'm going to hold you to that because whenever you tell me what next chapter I'm going to be on and it's not exciting, I'm going to bring you back to this time. Like, hey, do you remember?
It's canon. It is known.
It is known.
All right, gang, I gotta go finish reading The Anatomy of Magical Fascism before this book starts demanding wages. Bye.
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 The Restricted Section is stoked to be a member of the Movie Night Crew podcast network, featuring some excellent other podcasts, such as Fandom's Gone Wrong, a podcast where Carrie and Charlie, a mother and kid duo, talk about movies, TV shows, and books they both love, and it will probably devolve into friendly arguments.
Hello, you awesome nerds out there. Yes, you. Have I got the podcast for you?
We've got pop culture, swearing, and all the immature jokes you could ask for.
We'll take you on a journey through TV shows, movies, books, and maybe a video game someday.
And we'll tell you how they all went wrong.
I'm Charlie.
And I'm Carrie.
And this is Fandom's Gone Wrong.
New episodes every other Wednesday wherever you get your podcasts.
The Restricted Section was created by me, Christina Kahn, based on the book series by J.K. Rowling. All music by Ryan Kahn. Logo by Michael Hardison. Support us on patreon.com/restricted section. For as little as $1 a month, you can gain access to our Discord community server, which is a really happy place to be. And there are other rewards as well, such as bonus episodes and Zoom happy hour hangouts. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at Restricted Section Pod, on Twitter at Restricted Pod, and on Facebook at Restricted Section Pod. Also, feel free to shoot us an email at restrictedsectionpod@gmail.com to share your thoughts, feelings, complaints, conspiracy theories, or even lavish praise. I have a friend who, I literally said Tarly, first of all, so I'm going to have to let them know that that's their new couple name, I guess. But Taylor and Charlie sync their audio by telling a joke at the beginning of every episode. And I'm like, whoa.
Wow.
That's next level.
It is. Like, what about the comedic timing must vary?
Yeah.
I think that's how they sync it up, is they have to make the comedic timing perfect between the joke and the punchline.
And if it's not, then the episode's just not going to work.
That movie sucked.
I kind of liked it.
Movie Night Crew Network.